So I don't listen to much non-Christian music or secular music. And the other day I was having an amazing night. I couldn't sleep. I was just laying in bed, just thinking, And I was kind of just wondering to myself, why is that? Why don't I listen to much secular music? And the reason I kind of came up with is because I don't really relate to it. You see, so much secular music is focused on the hardships of life. It's focused on the darkness and the pain, suffering, fill in the blank. And often there is no solution given. There is no light that is then presented. You see, it just talks about the darkness, never talks about the light. And so the problem I've always had is I don't relate to this because, yeah, there are problems in life, but there is a solution. There is a light. That is God, that is Christ. And so I don't relate to that type of music, which happens to be a lot of secular music. Not to say that Christian music is perfect. I think at times Christian music has a tendency to talk too much about the light and not enough about the darkness. It's a balance. And I feel like there's some Christian music out there that talks so much about following Jesus and the joy that's found in that it almost starts to paint the picture that life will be improved on earth by following Jesus, which I think in reality, Jesus said, and the Bible makes this pretty clear, that ultimately the world will hate us for following him. The world will reject us. There is no promise that life is going to get better by following Jesus. There is so much to be found in Christ, salvation and the joy of following God and true perseverance and purpose through hardships. But it really made me think about Christianity as a whole and how, as Christians, we are to share the gospel with people. We want to be careful that we don't only talk about the dark or that we only talk about the light, but that we guide people in understanding how they fall short of God's law and why they need Jesus. The Ten Commandments are there to not to condemn us, but to show us how we're already condemned. It's meant to guide us, to show us how we already fall short of God's law and why we need a solution, why there's a need for Jesus. That's kind of the comparison I drew between music and Christianity as a whole and how we share the gospel. And I just thought it was an interesting thought I had. I thought it was kind of an interesting thought, so I wanted to share it. So I hope you found value in it. If you didn't, that's cool. It's cool. But yeah, cool beans.